And I think you can. I just have not seen very much Abaddon since the new patch.
Yeah, I think this is the only team I've seen actually pick it, and so I am a little bit curious on how that's going to play out. But um, the offlaner pairing, I think, is going to be really important. They get rid of the Slardar. I think that's the obvious one, right? You've got the minus armor already from Shadow Fiend's kit. Slardar is just generally a very good hero right now. They also get rid of the Visage, which we've seen a couple times. Um, there's you have your Tiny already. I'm guessing, of course, that it's Tiny 4, that you're pairing it up with a new offlane hero here. Um, Twisted Minds have to pick first, so that's actually really good news for the side of Liga team, because it does mean that the Wind Ranger flex is kind of protected in terms of, do they want it safe lane or mid? Gosh, man, for offlaners, what's really left here?
Um, I'm trying to think of what they need for Twisted Minds. Because Liga team could still go like fairly active. Your supports come online really quickly. Beastmaster tends to be able to do that, although we did see some like slower builds previously, not in like the last game, but yesterday. We saw like an Aghanim's build, stuff like that. So not exactly sure where this hero has fully fallen out, but the classic way of playing Beastmaster was a more tempo lineup, and so maybe you want an offlaner to help you deal with that. Okay, kind of like
I
a
was
Tide
thinking
Hunter.
Mars or Tidehunter were the two I was thinking for these guys.
You still got some negative armor from Tide Hunter with the Gush. The Kraken Shell means that Wind Ranger doesn't really want to focus fire you, and if Beastmaster does get a bunch of summons, it won't really do much to you. That's pretty cool.
I like it. Yeah. It gives you like just the general help for the team fight is nice. There's the first Slark I have seen of the patch, and boy, is that a good Slark pick. It is so rough into the Tidehunter, and it is impossible for Abaddon to play into this hero. Like, you might be able to get the silence onto the Slark, but he can easily dodge it with just Depth Shroud or Shadow Dance, and instantly can dispel it if he's, timed his Dark Pack directly. And then eventually, if you ult, you are just a battery for the Slark. He will attack you. Like, he doesn't care if he's healing you at that point. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'll give you all of your health back. Give me like 50 Essence Shift, please. I'll make a very nice trade here. It's a good Slark pick. It is. And he's going to go the Leeching Leash, which is basically what the old Pounce was, which is as you pounce onto them, you get Essence Shift. Now it was buffed. So I believe previously it was 0, 1, 2, 3. Essence Shift stacks. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get a little bit more Essence Shift stacks per Pounce, but it's good. I think it's a good Slark pick. Is it enough though? I don't know. What do you think, Zach?
I think it definitely looks good. You do have a couple AoE spells that can hit through the ultimate, such as Shadow Fiend stuff. You could knock him around with the Flame Break, Avalanche, Ravage. So you have some tools for that. But I think you're right. Like these hard to kill heroes like Abaddon and Tidehunter, Slark, he's perfectly fine with that. I suppose the worry is the Shadow Fiend, because Shadow Fiend can sometimes have a lot of burst if he's having a really good game. So that might be the focus here. Either shut down Shadow Fiend in the lane or pick him off at the start of a fight. And then at that point, you just let Slark weave in and out of the fight, steal a bunch of stacks, and I think you're good from there. So you might have a Slark problem. You might need to make sure you rotate some heroes in there to slow him down.
I think one of my favorite changes of 7.36 was that they forgot to include the patch note of like leash can no longer be force staffed out of. And then in 7.36a, they were like, we have changed leash to where it can no longer be broken by force staff. And like putting it in the patch notes, like, oh, this is a new buff we just added, not a we forgot to add this in the last patch notes, but hey, it's okay. I thought that was quite funny. But I mean, that's one of the big buffs to Slark. And I was a little bit curious as to why we weren't seeing him despite that, right? Like, It's pretty good. Force Staff no longer counters this hero, meaning your only options are really like a BKB, a Wind Waker, um, or like Ghost Scepter. Like, there's just not a lot of options.
The battle begins.
Top lane, we might see a big fight at the river, but nah. Looks like everyone's gonna split up.
It seems like people were still on the edge when the patch first came out, but in the 7.36A and then 7.36B patches, his innate ability or innate, oh yeah, innate ability, man, the terminology. The innate ability did get buffed, so it's a lot of regen now. Once you do have to step away out of sight and all that, but it's a good amount of free regen you get right away. And previously, that was one of Slark's weakest moments, was trying to hit level 6, and then he's good to go. Like, he can do whatever. And now he just gets a part of that really early. So I feel like he should have a good lane. I say as he's taking a bunch of damage. But again, like, he'll just step around a tree for a few seconds and come back with an extra 100 health between creep waves.
I actually kind of like what they did here because you don't want to put the Bat Rider into the Slark lane. So you put double melee into Slark, but the benefit at least is that it's a tiny, which is a lot of burst damage that the Slark does not like to play into. It is a little bit interesting that the innate still gives him regen at level 1, and it was buffed, and then they buffed the the regen tied to the ult, 6, 12, and 18 or whatever. 11 and 18? I don't know. 12 and 18.
Which one? His healing?
Yeah, it's like they buffed the healing on the ultimate part of the facet, like in the B patch. So, like you were saying. But at level 1, you just hide behind a tree for 1 second, and you're basically getting a tango regen. So, if you're ever just like low in the lane, you can just hide for a moment. You never really have to buy tangos on this hero. Like, maybe you buy a salve if you're getting all in, but well, I say that,
Ooh.
and they are very much trying to all-in him. Meanwhile, top lane, there is going to be a kill onto the Beastmaster. So that one's not surprising. This is the benefit of that Bat Rider. He's super good against this Beastmaster.
I guess you get the combo of slows between Abaddon attacking with Curse of Avernus and then the Napalm stacks, so he just could not walk away.
That Clockwork, ooh, stick, gets him out, okay. But there's one tree here that the Slark's hiding behind. He's like, ha, ha, 16 regen, let's go.
He didn't have to go anywhere for that. I actually really like that they, I don't know if that was, I guess it was unintentional, broke those trees, but that is pretty good to do versus Slark, right? So he has to walk further away from the lane to get the healing. Maybe that's something intentional people will have to do. For now, it was because of the toss and all of that, but that might be good to do. Oh, maybe it was the power cogs that broke it. Whatever, trees got broken there.
So the thing with the Beastmaster in the top lane is, yes, he's having a rough start so far, but if there's anything I've learned about Beastmasters, they just send their boar back to the triangle and just stack it on cooldown, and then they will just use axes to catch back up. So I imagine we'll be seeing the Beastmaster taking advantage of that fairly soon.
With that in mind, I would love for Twisted Minds to be aware of that, and they should be. And they have really good heroes for stealing stacks. Like, even a support Bat Rider can do it. Shadow Fiend, like, one quick rotation over, triple raise, clears out a massive chunk of the stacks. Like, the Ancients, maybe that's a little harder. But at least stealing the hard camp stacks is a pretty easy thing for them to do, and it wastes the time commitment of the Beastmaster, who is maybe dying here again, being run out. He's got 4 napalm stacks.
Ooh, yeah, in the bottom lane, we're seeing
Ticking
Pablo
down.
get ran down as well. Hanskin, though, he's in trouble, potentially. The boar doing some work. Shad pops the shield. Just going to try and burn them down. Another stick used.
Shad's
Wait a
in
minute.
trouble?
Shad? He's dead.
Whoa!
They're both dead.
Second point in Shadow Realm. That's uncommon, but I actually think L1GA adapted there for the kill. Now, bottom lane, now Tiny getting
Stonebank's
killed
dead too.
off. Stonebank too?
Yeah, he can't. There's no way to get away from the Slark at this point. That is a double kill. Once you've ramped up your Essence Shift that much in the trade, it's just impossible.
Yeah, it's man, these side lanes are crazy. Yeah, everyone's getting so low. Look at Slark just hiding in the tree.
All right. Well, initially I thought these side lanes were going very well for Twisted Minds and that they were going to be the ones maybe pushing the heroes of Liga back or to the jungle. But after those just 4 kills instantly, they are in a very good spot. I mean, still, you have to worry a little bit about this top lane, but the Boar micro here from the Beastmaster has looked pretty dang good. And it's keeping Batrider back. Like, he can't actually play for his Firefly pretty much at all.
That's true. The slow from the boars is sort of matching the slow from the Batrider. So usually Batrider just wants to be faster, run all over you, and that's how he, plays the lane. But this boar is helping out in that way. It does mean the boar is not stacking though. So if he
Yes.
does not win the lane, he is not going to have something to fall back on.
They're
Dive in the mid
collapsing
lane.
on mid lane. Yeah, level 6 out from the Wind Ranger. They bring in both supports. And they will get the kill. Now, Clockwork will trade as Hanskin gets level 4, pops the Firefly. Pablo might be able to help close the gap. He's like, toss me in, buddy.
Power shot.
Get me in there. Nicely done. So it's a 2 for 2. A nice salvage, I suppose, in the mid lane. A lot of gold for the Batrider.
A lot of gold for a Wind Ranger too, though.
Yeah, a lot of
That
gold
might
for the
be a
Wind Ranger.
little scary.
And the bottle
Radiant's
refill, of
top
course.
tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, Slark's just going to commit here onto the Tide Hunter. Stone Bank, nowhere to go.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And just like that, he gets level 6. So, Slark, you now have infinite sustain in this lane. He's going to play for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune.
Dire's
He was
bottom
low
tower
before,
under
but it is
attack.
nighttime now. He has
Dire's
vision
turret has
advantage.
been killed.
Block
They're gonna
helping to
double
buy
root
some
him,
time with
no
power
problem.
cogs too. Yeah, this is really good for Liga team. It's really snowball. Wow, that's so nice of him. He let the Clockwork take the Wisdom Rune. I can't believe that. Think about
That
diving
is
this
shocking.
tower.
Yeah, you have another rotation for the Wind Ranger. Violence here as well. Great cogs to trap him in place. And Stone Bank's game really starting to fall apart here.
Ounce was not necessary. It's a little off there. But he's already
Good
at 4
zoning,
permanent
Ounce.
stacks. Beastmaster dying top, being run down.
All right, that's nice. Hanskin's getting active on the Batrider. The kills in the mid lane actually helped him quite a bit. So despite the fact that he got double Wisdom Rune, he's still level 5. So he's able to apply a little bit of pressure. But he's going to have to transition into like a semi-carry at this point. He's going to have to start offering a lot to the team. And getting that like early Blink Dagger and making plays. Because your Tide Hunter certainly is not.
Looking around for stacks. There's like one stack. Mid lane.
Seen that one
Santic
before.
down again.
Yeah. And Hanskin here for the cleanup once again onto Pantomin. So
You gotta start stacking for the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, you really do. You need to leave Shad solo in the top lane, and you just start stacking pretty much this whole top side of the
Dire's
jungle.
bottom tower is under attack.
They are going to
The
actually
downs-
gank this top lane, though. They're bringing Tiny up here. The level 6 Dark Willow, man. It is really scary to go into this hero. They are, however, kind of pinching in. Violet's going to make the rotation on the Slark as well, and with the Shadow Realm, he's going to look for Shad. He has no ultimate, by the way. He already committed it. And Hanska will get chased down here by Pantomin, the toss away to get the Pablo Tiny out of danger, but you have a hook shot now. Oh, you don't. You already used it. Yeah,
Oh, he's
doesn't
got it
even
up
matter.
again.
He's got the slow from the boar. That's it. Yeah, 2 more kills in the top lane. Twisted Minds. They're trying to push back these enemy team, the enemy team, and like force a fight, but Liga's just reading it every time.
Yeah, Liga's playing really well. They have strong heroes right now, especially the Slark. You can just do whatever. Yeah, he's going for the Tidehunter again here. There's no getting out of this one.
Is his 6th permanent agility stack of the game, as he has a defusal already done. 10-minute Treads Wraithband defusal. Yeah. This is very problematic. No one can even come close to contesting this hero at this point.
Yeah, that's 6 permanent agility. It may not sound like a lot, but if you think about it, it's like a free Band of Elven skin, which if you look at his net worth, it's like you just pump him up to over 6,000 gold at this point in the game, which that is crazy, right? That might be a little easier to conceptualize. Slark does not usually have 6 permanent agility stacks right now, and he's going to look for 7. They smoke him up. Oh my god,
Yeah.
are they going to fight Stonebank again?
Yeah, he
Guy.
can just keep chasing Stonebank, and there's nothing that this Tidehunter can do because it's a Tide, right? Like he's kind of just supposed to soak damage, right? That's like the whole purpose of the hero. Like he doesn't mind just being on the front line soaking damage, but Slark just loves those types of heroes and punishes them. Hook shot into the mid lane. The lasso comes out. They've managed to take down one, but they get the Shadow Fiend once again. Violent. Now looking for Pablo. Hits him with the inhibit. Going to start burning the mana. He does get a single toss off, but Pablo does have a lot of HP at least. Hanskin on the backside will go down to Rebel once again, who is also having an insanely good game. That is a Maelstrom.
Yeah, I like that they're not committing too hard. Like, he probably could have dove that Tiny, for example, on the Slark. But recognizing, hey, we're doing really well. That means if we screw up, it's a really big deal. Like, we throw away a huge lead. So this is the time to push your opponent, but actually still play it safe. Because if you just maintain what is going on, you're going to build a huge lead. But diving too hard because you feel so strong, you feed away like 1,000 gold suddenly from a huge kill streak. Now it's like, oh, it's an even game again.
Boy, yeah, there's a 6,000 gold lead at 12 minutes. You're not feeling very confident about your ability to play in the lanes. So you can see Stonebank, he's just like hiding in trees, like praying that the Slark is not
Please
nearby.
don't run at me.
Yeah. Top lane though, Hanskin gets found once again here by Pantamin, and it's only a matter of time before that kill gets given. Yep. L1GA will grab it on the Dark Willow. This is why Clockwork is just such an insane hero. It's so impossible to punish this.
It's cool. He went Soul Ring on the Clockwork, actually. This is a little bit of a different take than what we usually see. But I suppose when you've just been going around killing people nonstop, you're like, oh man, I'm so active. I don't have enough mana. He's going to solve it with a Soul Ring.
You know, if it works, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's
Soul
an
Ring,
adjustment for just how well
Tranquils.
this game is going. I don't
Yeah,
think you would usually do this.
His whole build is like, I'm just gonna stay on the map, right? Yeah, Soul Ring, Tranquils, Wand, and a Windlace, right? Like, all he wants to do is just be able to never leave the map and chase heroes down.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And I mean, he's a very scary part of Liga team. Like, he is 1, 2, and 10, right? So he's been involved in the most kills for his team. Looking for another one on the Tiny in the mid lane. The Avalanche Toss gonna buy him a few more seconds, but Tiny attacks so slow. There's no killing the cogs. He might just need to like tank one and then try to slip around it. But because of the trees, it's pretty tough.
I was just about to say, I was like, how does Tiny get out of a cogs when he's the like hero that he gets caught on the hook shot, and you're like a support Tiny, you're like, oh well, I guess I'll die. I guess I'll die.
Yeah, you do see it takes a little bit of time to kill him because Focus Fire actually just builds up the passive on Wind Ranger pretty quickly, reducing her damage. But that's where the Maelstrom comes into play. And actually, she also took Lance of Pursuit, which is one of the few neutral items that got a small buff in the recent patch. So it does 5 more damage. So a total of 20 per attack from behind.
Wait, does it really now? Wow. I didn't realize that.
So it's actually pretty sizable in the early game, especially for a hero like Wind Ranger who attacks so fast.
Oh my
Assuming they're running away, which at this point, you're running away because you are now 9k behind at 14 minutes.
Clark has a Shadow Blade, so good luck. Yeah, this is This is like the old school Slark build, right? Diffusal Shadow Blade was just like the items way back in the day. We've kind of strayed away from that because of the fact that heroes are so tanky that like Slark can't really afford to not build stat items, which is where like the Echo Saber into Ags build kind of came from. But he is so far ahead. He just feels like it's fine. He's like, yeah, I'll just build a Shadow Blade. I'll get the Silver Edge right away. We have Break. Why not? We'll see if it gets punished, because if he dies, it's going to be a lot of gold going the other way, but
Yeah, it's a
Slark
little
has some of the worst stat gain in the game.
Yeah, it's a little all in or nothing, but the break is really good. He's going to find Pablo with his Shadow Blade. He's just waiting for some extra help. But I also really like that now that he has it, and now that Pablo's going to let his team know, okay, there's some invis, you put so much pressure on the enemy team because they're already behind, and now they have to buy a bunch of sentries, which they already needed for the Vision game, which is really tough versus Slark and Clockwork and Beastmaster. Actually, a little less Beastmaster than it used to be in the past. But now you also have to worry about Invis heroes, so your poor supports are even poorer.
Big Shad did not want to pop the ult there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They also just get Roshan during all of this. So like Beastmaster's just been free farming the offlane because of how good these lanes have gone. So he's got his Aghanim Scepter. He just goes Rosh with the help of a Focus Fire from the Wind Ranger. And he's just going to hold the Aegis himself. He'll just be on the front line kind of doing whatever he needs to do.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
While we watch him just continue to slaughter people, looks like at Xantix next up here in the top lane. Isn't it crazy? Like, what is the state of Helm of the Dominator that it keeps getting buffed and even Beastmaster does not want to build it still?
So I think
wild?
I know the I think I know why.
Okay.
It is a fundamental problem with the item, with the like matching the meta, where it's like, yes, you would be totally fine having a Helm of the Dominator and getting into Helm of Overlord and pushing high ground. Like, yes, it is beneficial, but the problem is that it doesn't help you farm enough as compared to other items. And then the second part is that there's so much gold on the map that a support a lot of times can be the one that just kills your Helm of the Overlord hero. Or Helm of your Overlord, you know, dominated creep, let alone a carry who has more than enough to just like quickly clean up the creep. So it ends up just feeding a lot of gold the other way.
So do you think maybe it gives reduced gold, like 50%? Is that then what it needs?
Yeah, I think maybe the bounty of the Helm of the Overlord and Helm of the Dominator creeps needs to be reduced, or you need to buff the actual stats of the dominated effect to where it's like actually stronger. Mid lane, Pablo just getting dove. I was like, oh man, someone got tossed in the tower. Then I realized that's his tower. So yeah, they're just diving. Shad, this is exactly what I was talking about. Violence, like, yes, baby, give me those S and Shift stackies. These are very tasty. Hookshot in from Pantaman just to secure the kill. And this Slark sitting on 22 S and Shift, 10 permanent. Yeah, he's having a pretty good game.
Free Blade of Alacrity. All right, is there a game plan for Twisted Minds? I mean, what do you even do here? Radiance is 1,000 gold away on Abaddon. At this point, it kind of tickles. Ravage is still a good team fight spell, but do you have damage? I guess if you get a huge Ravage, that's gonna be found by this Invis Slark. Gonna force the ult and a TP.
Ounce is gonna.
Okay. Oh, that was so close. Oh, he doesn't have roar anyways. It was all for show.
It was just axes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
So
I mean, that's a good escape.
He went Yashikaya first on Shadow Fiend, and he's gonna get a blink. So you need a huge Ravage because Liga team is just they lose self-control. They're winning so hard they just all start grouping and clumping. You get a huge Ravage into a huge Requiem of Souls, and then Slark kills you all. But at least you get like a couple support kills in that, maybe. And if you do that enough times on the high ground, maybe you come back. I don't know.
Avalanche, toss, roar comes out, the Ravage into the lasso, the Slark's dead! Finally, they get this kill, and now the dive, though, continuing Stonebank behind his tower. Is it enough? They get the Aegis, of course, but
last auto attack.
that's about it. Shadow Fiend without the Requiem, they feel very confident in taking that fight. And oh, nice flame break back. Does he get the kill? He does. He's gonna lose his own life under that Terrorize as Hanskin just beat down as well. It's a 5 for 2. You got the Aegis. I bet this is a somehow even trade.
Oh, it is. You gained money from that. Although you did lose
gold.
out in experience. It was pretty close though. The last auto attack that Wind Ranger fired killed killed Tidehunter, and then oh Shad, oh no, and then the last auto attack she fired killed Shadow Fiend. So if they're a little stronger, like 10 more health, then maybe they live. That looks better, but currently they're just being dove nonstop.
Yeah, Pablo is like just doing his best to get what spells he can here before he just gets dove in the bottom side. And what a shackle! Stonebank's gonna wake up thanks to the Kraken Shell, but they just don't have the damage. Like no one else is even
Neutral creep
close.
got him at least.
Oh, wait a minute! He had him with dead in the water. He couldn't run away. So Shadow Fiend comes in, cleans up the kill, and yeah, the neutral creep, the Tormentor, actually finding the kill on the Tidehunter, makes that actually okay. Well, now you're going to lose your Tormentor, but Shadow Fiend maybe.
Shadow Fiend's got it.
Here.
Big Ray Steel. Yo. Almost awesome. Oh,
I mean,
so
he
close.
killed 2 heroes with that.
Yeah.
Like, he actually just got 3 kills. Like, that's totally fine for the Shadow Fiend.
That was
He
almost
died,
such a
but-
sick play. He almost got like a team wipe on that. I missed that he killed the second support. I thought it was just one. You need to take risks like that. Like, it was a blind play, so on paper it's like, oh, isn't that way too risky? It's true, but guys, I'm level 19. He gained so much out of that. You need to take these kind of risks when you're 17,000 behind at 21 minutes.
What?
And
He
Xantic's pretty
is
happy
level
with that.
19.
Tell me someone saw that.
Yeah, kills. Focus SF only. I mean,
Oh my
he picked up
God.
some major kills, and when you're this far behind, the kill XP like really ramps up. And that's why I was saying earlier, like if you pick up an early lead, you've got to be pretty careful that you don't actually just feed it away by making like one over aggressive play. That can be a huge deal, and it gives the enemy a way back in. So it's still a very big uphill climb here for Twisted Minds, but yeah, you got a level 19 SF. That's something to work with at least.
It's
And
level
what?
19 SF. Well,
You
we're
got-
seeing some more heroes die there. The dude also got like almost 1,400 gold.
Yeah,
From those
so he's
3
halfway to his
kills.
ags already. More, he's like three quarters ish.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty worth. Shad top lane trapped in the cogs. I don't know how he gets it. Well, maybe he doesn't need to get out of this. You got Shadow Fiend nearby. You got Stonebank as well. Terrorize connects onto 2.
Just
all right.
farm the cogs, guys. Just farm
Yeah.
the cogs. You need the money.
Dude, I can't. The realization is like, I'm level 19. How did I get here? Like, actually, I have no idea. That is, it's ridiculous.
They had some pretty big kill streaks, and he was the only one who survived to pick up those kills.
Yeah, they were
So-
all 3 solo kills in terms of
Yeah.
experience.
So you just end up with a bunch.
Dire's bottom tower
I mean, it's
is under
34 to 11, so he needed to get something out of those. What's the level 20 talent? Requiem Fear and then damage per soul. He's getting Ag, so I imagine he's getting the Fear.
I think the fear is underrated. I think if you go on this build, Blink Kaya Sanj Ags, the fear is probably the better one. Like right click is damage per soul is nice and it synergizes well with the Shadow Rays applies attack damage. But it's not that much more damage, is it? It'd be what, 50? Okay, that's actually pretty decent damage.
I think he's being like spellcaster SF though. Like if you're going for the right click, then you do damage per soul, but I think he's spellcasting here.
Oh, they found the Wind Ranger. The sick setup there from Pablo. Tosses into the Requiem. Hill goes to its Xantic again. I mean, that's a lot of gold.
I need him to all chat, guys. I'm level 20 when he hits 20.
Well,
He might not get to do that,
might
though.
be dead first. He realizes the wraparounds are coming. They brought the numbers, and its Xantic will die. Violent almost dies on the Requiem there as well, but manages to top himself off. So kind of earlier we were talking about this build from Slark. We're like, all right, going things like Diffusal and Silver Edge first is very greedy. You can get punished for it. He kind of did when he dove into the high ground. Oh, dead in the water. Out onto the Slark. He immediately BKBs. That fresh BKB he just picked up just chews right through the Tidehunter. Now looking for Shad. He's going to be forced to pop that borrowed time. Violent under the cover of his Shadow Dance will continue to chase here. As a toss into the fountain, but the immediate Death Shroud. Very quick response.
He's at 30 Essence Shift stacks, not including his 15 permanent ones. He's looking for more. Go hit the tower, man. And
it's just the classic Slark gameplay. You're just like so far ahead, you can just keep doing. Shadow Dance is apparently back off cooldown.
yeah, that's the buff to it. They reduced the cooldown by 10 seconds. Otherwise, you know, maybe that's a play.
I was like, I had no idea. That thing has like a 30-second cooldown.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Very low cooldown now.
Wow.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
And Shadow Fiend building up his souls again. Do we have the combo? We have Ravage. And we have Requiem. Okay, guys, let's get in there. Big Ravage, big Requiem of Souls. Cut this down to like a 24K lead for Liga team.
God, just thinking back to that moment where he's just like, guys, I'm level 19. You're like, what?
What's your next item? What else can you get? I think you need Refresher, maybe. I think you're just all in on this.
For Shadow Fiend?
Yeah. Blink, ult,
It's like
triple raise, refresh, ult, triple raise. Do you even have the mana? I think with the Yasha and the Kaya,
yeah.
Ags mana. You might need to be on like int treads, but
I mean, Refresher gives you a decent amount of regen. Like maybe that 8 mana regen is actually like the difference of him getting it or not.
why should raise is so cheap? I didn't even realize 75 mana. Oh, he's totally got enough. Do it, do it. Go refresher. Refresher's what? 350 mana? Oh, he totally has enough.
I mean, the main thing you're looking for is just like Blink, Requiem, Refresh into an immediate Blink, second Requiem, right? Because you want to refresh the fear duration and you want to hit the second centered ultimate. And then you follow it up with the raises if something's not dead.
Shard could be good too, maybe.
What's his shard now that they changed it? I forgot.
Every enemy you hit lowers the cooldown of raise by 2 seconds. So if you are hitting clumped up. I just think he needs the stacking damage, you know, like just where they're at.
Okay,
Get her,
that's a
guys,
nice
get
kill.
her.
Dark Willow's dead. That's the blink out of Hanskin into the lasso.
I stole the gem back. It's pretty good.
That's not bad. I mean, the gold lead is still really scary for Liga team. 26,000 ahead. But these are all like general benefit, like positive changes to the. Oh, okay.
Couldn't help himself.
Beastmaster having some fun, but yeah, literally couldn't help himself to kill the courier there. Focus fire on the backside is going to find the Bat Rider as well, so they managed to get themselves their first kill. Dead in the water here onto the Slark. They get the hook shot. The Requiem has. Oh, he does get it off. The cast range actually helps the heal from Xanta, keeps him alive. The Fear's onto the Slark, and he's dead. That's what you gotta worry about. That second return Fear.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Oh
attack.
boy, they get out on the supports, but that is very lucky. The Shadow Fiend getting the Requiem off despite the clockwork being there.
That's the cast speed increased from Yashikaya. Otherwise, I think the battery assault prevents it.
It would have happened. I mean, one battery assault
Maybe?
missed, and it was enough for him to get the Requiem off, is what happened.
Yeah, maybe was a creep there or another hero or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Wind Ranger's looking. He's finally taken to heart what Pantomime said earlier. Everyone focus SF. He's the key here.
Yeah, I mean, his game is a lot better than it used to be. Cool. Avalanche, toss, and another lasso onto the Willow. Dude, each of these kills are like 1,000 gold because of how far ahead you are.
Twisted Mind's doing it.
I mean, it's possible.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's
Okay. So for Liga team, you come Roche. Are they kind of close to level 20 talents? Is there any like really good one? Focus fire damage reduction.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, Focus Fire damage reduction is nice, I suppose. Beastmaster's 20 is okay. I feel like he just takes the max health. But, I don't know. Top lane, looking for Panther.
Is he actually using Requiem?
Oh, dead in the water. I was like, is he going to get out of this? But no, dead in the water. Nice blink in from Stonebank to cancel it. So, Adzancik gets himself another kill.
27 Necromastery stacks.
I mean, it's only 2 technically more, right? Because the Ags provides 5.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, I'm less impressed. You're right.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I was like, how?
I was like, has he gotten 7 kills?
But still, I mean, it matters as you get more and more because of this Aghanim Scepter and because of the fear duration talent.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
each of these stacks do make a massive difference in these fights. So if he doesn't die and he continues to get these kills, you could be scary. You could be very scary.
Scanning.
Especially since he is going for the refresher like we talked about.
It's good. He also got Ceremonial Robe, so that reduces the enemy status resistance and magic resistance by 10%. That's actually
Really
I think
sick.
that's the best thing he could have gotten. I'm trying to think of like what else
I mean, until
even
the tier
is there.
4s,
Maybe
but-
mobility, like Ogre Seal Totem to get away from clock, but
Dude, this is one of those games where it's like you're so far behind. Like I think you actually have to all in for damage.
yeah, I think so.
And I mean that item owns on Shadow Fiend. It increases fear duration. It increases all of your damage. It's very good.
Jackpot.
The Tidehunter's working on a Shiva's as well. That'll amp up.
Radiant's bottom tower
damage.
is under attack.
How do you break the high ground again as Liga? Do you just commit focus fires while she has Aegis and then just back off? Repeat, slow?
You have to like. The problem is I was like, oh, you just blink roar the Shadow Fiend, but there's an Abaddon right behind him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
typically, so it's not easy.
Oh, she just finished a BKB.
Okay.
So that might be
helps.
part of the issue that they didn't have a BKB into this like Ravage, Shadow Fiend ultimate combo.
Clark's finally decided to tank up now that he's got his BKB Aghanim Scepter, which Shadow Fiend's gonna get found. He is so far out. Violence looking to find out if there's other heroes. He's gonna be forced to BKB. It's Xantic. Pops the refresher. The second ult! You're kidding me! He gets the kill! What?
I cannot believe that just worked.
He's like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna die or I'm gonna press Requiem twice, and the heal is enough, right? That is wild.
Okay, so Slark was BKB'd, so he started to ult, canceled it, and then he's like, no wait, I should still do it because there's going to be a heal on the way back, and BKB no longer is full immunity, it's damage magic resistance, but it means he will heal a little bit. Oh, Wind Ranger?
That's triple rage. She's just dead.
Does he have Requiem again? Not yet.
No,
Yes,
not
you got
yet.
5 heroes
But
here.
you have dead in the water,
Lasso,
and she already
probably.
BKB'd. So,
Lasso, probably.
camera. There we go.
Oh, dead
Yeah,
in the
there you
water.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, you've got dead in the water, and she BKB'd right away, so she's got nowhere to go. And then Xanta gets the soul, man.
I think Twisted Minds is doing it, dude. I think Liga is
Suddenly
like
it's 30
spiraling.
souls.
They're spiraling, man.
30 souls, bro. I don't know. It's getting scary.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dude, that ceremonial rope might have actually been the difference of him not like dying or not versus the Slark.
That's true.
Radiant's
It was
bottom
really
tower
close.
has fallen.
Slark was like 1 hit away from killing SF.
Because like the heal is based on the damage it does, right? So,
Yes.
oh, Slark's gonna go in, gets on top of the Tidehunter. He is quick food
Radiant's middle tower is under
for the
attack.
Slark. This time, now that League of Teams grouped up, they're like, all right, let's all back away. We don't have all of our spells, no Ravage. So Shadow Fiend TP's top. He's gonna address the Super Creeps lane, but dude, he is second on net worth now, like closing in on the Beastmaster, which I did not think we would ever get here. You are still 18,000 gold ahead, but to compare that to where you were at 25 minutes, being like 27,000 gold behind or something, like that's pretty remarkable.
It's crazy because so they're like 19k behind at 34 minutes, but that is, you're right, it's an improvement from where they were earlier. So it's actually trending towards Twisted Minds, and Shadow Fiend's getting really close to 25, which is Feast of Souls grants 40% better cast speed. So that's another big power spike for him to get his combo off really fast. Refresher's about to be off cooldown too. They might make a play here if they get vision somewhere, which currently they're smoked up on Liga, so maybe got to wait a moment here.
I'm sure he still takes the Shadow Raise applies attack damage. It turns your raises into like an 800 damage nuke that scales per stack. It's just such a ridiculous talent, even for like caster Shadow Fiend. Like the cast speed on Feast of Souls is kind of sick, but I feel like having just an 800 damage nuke, and if he gets a shard as well, like you were talking about, where it can be up that much faster, would make it pretty nuts. They're gonna smoke out. They go in. The blink, the lasso. It's gonna be onto the clockwork. Roar catches the Shadow Fiend. There's gonna be Requiem #1, but no, it gets canceled. He doesn't get it. And Xanta goes down for 95 seconds without buyback. All it took was a refresher double roar. I will say you were a little slow on dispelling that first roar as well.
Yeah, all focus Shadow Fiend applied to both teams. They really need to play around him. Do they have a fortify?
Structures are fortified.
It's 70 more seconds though. I think it's just
Dire's
you just get
bottom
megged
tower
here.
is under attack.
You have to wait for Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I mean, Roar is like a 3.75 second stun. He was stunned for like 2.25 seconds before it got removed by Shad. So it's just very difficult. They're gonna just dive the base here at this point. Clockwork is low, but not gonna die. 5 dead. Stonebank.
Stonebank
he
wants
just
his
does
revenge.
a cheeky play to get the kill, but yeah, he's dead himself. And I think that will be the game. Now that you've lost the souls on the Shadow Fiend, you have no double Requiem. GGs are out. Twisted Minds, I mean, a valiant hold, but at the end of the game here, you're all in on Shadow Fiend, and if you just let him get chain stunned down like that, it is done.
Yeah, they needed to stick around him, but it was good from Liga team to recognize he's the issue. So here's the refresher for Beastmaster, and then everyone just look for him in the fight, which wasn't happening in all the previous fights over the last like 10 minutes, but finally there it's like, oh yeah, just kill Shadow Fiend. And they kind of he was the whole problem, like the double Requiem and raises from the level 19 jump. I wonder how many levels that was in the one fight. We can go check in the post screen maybe, but he became everything for Twisted Minds, and I don't think Liga adjusted to that fast enough. But fortunately they had such a big lead that I think they lost like 10k net worth lead, and it's like, oh, okay, you know what, I've identified the problem. It's the Shadow Fiend, guys. Let's just pull in, get the Shadow Fiend, we're good to go. And yeah, finally happened there.
So I just took a look at it. It was 4.5 levels. So he went from like Some like I don't know, barely level 15 maybe to like over level 19. That was pretty. That's pretty nuts. So that's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, Exantic played a great game. The rest of the game, I mean,